Hey guys, this is Smithy. Welcome to my channel. Today's video is a very special one. We're going to talk about the Moonlit Marsh palette, which was in collaboration by Basket Case Beauty here on Instagram. And I'm going to create 2 looks using this palette. So if you're ready, let's begin. If you've not seen their work, they do some amazing makeup looks on their channel, and I'll link everything in the description box below for you guys. But let's talk about this palette. This palette is a 16 pan eyeshadow palette. Comes with a mirror. It's a huge palette, and it has some beautiful shades in it. Look at the variety of the shades. Basket Case Beauty, I'm not sure about the real name, but they created some beautiful color story, because we can like mix and match so many different shades and create. And this beautiful palette retails for $58. You can use the code SMITHYSONY to save 10% off on anything on their website. We're going to test this palette. We're going to do live swatches because I have not swatched this baby and I cannot wait to dive into this palette. I can see so many shifts in these shimmer shades, and I love MBA Cosmetics shades. I love their mattes, I love their shimmers, and this looks no different. So let's begin swatching this palette. The first shade is called Heron, and this is like oh, these mattes, they're so creamy, they're thick, they're opaque. It's like sagey green, but it has a lot of white in it. So let's watch it here. You can see that pigmentation. It's such a beautiful minty sagey green. For the inner corners or for like the inner crease of the eye look, this would look absolutely stunning. I love it. I already love it. Okay, let's move on to the next shade. The next shade is called Starlight, and to my angle, it looks like a pink orange with a lot of blue sparkle running throughout it. And it's a very smooth shimmer, but I can feel like the like a pieciness to it. This is so pretty, so pretty. Wait till you see it. It's so smooth too. Oh, you see that green? I see a stark like pink, like a fuchsia pink. So it's definitely a duochrome shade. You can see the shifts, right? So pretty, like pink, orange, blue. That's beautiful. Like I see the pink, like the shade of the pink that I'm wearing right now. I see that pink. So pretty. Okay. Let's move on to this shade, which is called Polywog or Polywag. This one, and it's like a lime green shade. I scare away from these shades, you know that. You know that. So let's watch this. Again, an opaque shade, really pigmented. Look at that. I know like a lot of people love this kind of shades. I am like, yes, but I'm not going gaga over the shade. But I know Basket Case Beauty is all over the shade. All over the shade. Next shade looks so enticing. This is called Hellenius, and to my angle, I see purple, blue, green. It totally, and like a little bit of gold, it totally looks like a multi-chrome to me. But also, they've never mentioned like a multi-chrome shade. They've said like 2 shimmers and 7 duochromes is what I see in their website. This is so pretty. I see pink, purple, blue, green. Okay. Definitely a unique shade. I do not own this kind of shade. So pretty, you guys. Can you see? These are like duo shades and can create like 2 different looks. So pretty. Okay, I'm so excited. Next shade, totally up my alley, totally. It's called Crawdad, and this is like a purple, blue, green shifting shade. Very different to the one that we swatched before, but I'll swatch it right next to it so that you can see the difference. It's definitely, this one definitely has like a purple base, and this one had like a green base. So let me show it to you. Oh, you see green. I see deep dark blue purple. Can you see that? That is so stunning. What? I didn't even see that green. I saw that shade. Wow, I love it. Okay, the next shade is called Minnow, which is like a deeper gray shade. Yeah, definitely like a deeper gray shade. For me, it will more over be like a transitioning or like a mid-tone shade. Yeah, I would say like a transitioning shade. Especially for like cool tone looks, I feel like that would definitely come in handy. I definitely can see a lot of simple looks with this palette so far. Like 2 shadow looks, it's like full of that. The next shade is called King Cup, which is like a coppery orangey bronze shade. This is so metallic, so metallic. Oh, this is so smooth too. Can you see that? I know that you can see that. So metallic. Love it. Definitely screams something different in this palette. And the next shade is like a salmony pink shade, which is called Opossum. This one. Let's watch that. I feel like that can be a beautiful blush shade too. And for simple everyday eye looks, that would be amazing. I definitely gravitate to that kind of shades like for my everyday look. So those are the first 8 shades of the palette. Now let's move on to the next 8 shades. The next shade is called Alligator, which is also a bronze shade, but it is like a dirty green bronze. And then let's do Lotus also, which is a very squishy formula. Oh man, I thought I ruined it. I swatched a little harder. Okay, I'll be careful. Lotus is definitely more on the textured side, and I feel like that it's very reminiscent to like Tucana from Divina. It's like that pink to a goldeny shifting shade. So let's watch that. Those two. The shade that we swatched before this, which is Alligator, is definitely like more of like a satin shade, I would say. Look at that. Can you see that shift in the shade Lotus? That's amazing. Okay, love that. Okay, let's move on to the next 2 shades. The next shade is Dragonfly, which is more of like a teal green shade, a matte shade, and then Bogland, which is another satiny shade, but it's more like a rich brown bronze shade. Yeah, like a chocolatey brown, I would say. So let's watch that. Ooh. Oh, I love this chocolatey brown shade. Definitely such a beautiful shade. Like for a smoky eye, for one and done smoky looks, would be amazing. And even to deepen out the outer corners, that will be stunning too. It has like a hint of burgundy to it. Okay, let's move on to the next 2 shades. The next shade is so intriguing. This is Moonshine. It looks like a silver in the pan, but it definitely has like a neutraliness to it, and it also has some green to it. I'm dying to swatch this. Yeah, I definitely can see the green shift. Like, I don't know if you can see it or not. And then we have the shade Violet, which is like a deep eggplanty purple shade, which you know, I love my purples. So there's no doubt about it that oh my god, this is stunning. The shade Moonshine, stunning. That's beautiful too. Look at that. Look at the shine. That is crazy. I love it. That can be a neutral eye too, because of the, you know, the translucent base to it. That will be amazing. The next 2 shades. The first shade is Moss, which is also, I feel like it will move in the pan if you swatch it really hard. And it is more of like a green gold shade. And then we have the shade Nocturnal, which is more like a deeper brown black shade. So let's watch that. Yep, beautiful. And that brown black shade, yeah, that can definitely deepen any look. Look at that. So that is the entire palette swatched for you guys. I'll definitely swatch it in the outside lighting too, so that you can see all the shifts in the dimension. I really loved swatching this palette. None of them gave any like trouble or anything swatching, no skipping or anything that I could notice. and the variety of the shades that you're getting in this palette is absolutely beautiful. So once you've seen all the live swatches, let's create some looks using this palette. Let's start off with my comfort zone, okay? Let's start off with the pink. We'll deepen it out with violet shade. Yeah, let's go there first. Okay, let's start off with that opossum shade, which is that pink. And I'm gonna take that in the crease. Oh, that's such a beautiful everyday shade. That's stunning. And I'm well aware of MBA Cosmetics shadow. I really love the impact that every shade gives, and I love the way it is buildable too. I really love that aspect of it. Like, look at that. That's stunning. Stunning. Okay, let's start off with this shade, which is violet in the outer corners, and that's a beautiful, like a purpley shade. You know how much I love my purples, so that is like beautiful. I definitely wanted a palette with purple from MBA Cosmetics, and this is giving it to me. Now I'm gonna just, because we have that depth that we want, I'm gonna go back to that opossum shade, the pink shade, and I'm just gonna blend the edges just so that there's no harsh lines and we get that blend that we are looking for. And then for the lower lash line, I'm gonna go with the shade Minnow, which is that gray. And I'm gonna dip a little bit into that violet shade for my extreme outer corners. Okay, let's apply some NYX glitter glue. And that will just help these shimmers to just stick onto the eyelid without any trouble. Not that I ever need like help for these shadows, but I'll take a little help. Now let's go into this shade, which is Crawdad, because that was stunning while swatching. So that is like a purple to a green shifting shade. I personally right now can see that green and not that purple, but when I shift it, you can see that. Oh my god, that's stunning. That's just beautiful. I'm gonna take that violet shade again, just intensifying the outer corners a little bit. There you go. Let's take Moonshine, this silvery shade, and I'm gonna just place that right there, because that has like a hint of green. It'll flow so nicely with this look. That's beautiful. That's just beautiful. I love that. Let me finish off this eye with some liner and mascara. Now for the lower lash line, I'm taking this purple shade, and it's a deeper purple shade from Milani. This one is in the shade Fixed on Plum. Once we have that, for the inner corners, I want like a minty shade just to get those greens out a little. So I'm just wiping my brush, and I'm gonna take this shade, which is Heron, and I'm gonna place that right there. Look at that. That's perfect. I love it. That's my first eye look. I love the way how this came out. This is like me so much. Like, I love the inclusions of greens and purples together, and I feel like they flowed into each other so beautifully. Cannot wait to dive into the next look, so let's do that. Okay, let's start off with this shade, which is Polywag, and I'm gonna concentrate that on the inner third of the eye. I'll most probably just do 2 looks, just because I am in a time crunch right now. That's a beautiful green. Look at that. That is so pretty, so pretty. I'm so scared. Okay, let's do Dragonfly. Should we? Okay, let's do it. Let's do Dragonfly, and I'm gonna melt it with the other green. If you don't know, like I do not like greens on me, so I'm just venturing out on greens. So I'm just gonna dab it right there. Okay, just to deepen out the outer corners and to melt it with that other green shade, which was Polywag. Going back into Polywag, going back and forth, right there in the center, just melting everything together. For the lower lash line, I'm going to take this shade, which is Bogland, the satiny brown shade. I'm going to just melt that on the lower lash line, all across the eyelid. Let's take the Starlit shade. And I'm going to place that right there in the outer corners of the eyelid. Wow, I was not expecting that. It took a blue turn. Wow, just because of that transparent base. Again, I feel like these shimmers are so versatile. Like, it looks pink in the pan, and it does look pink like on my eyes too, but on a certain angle. But it also melts with that green so nicely because of that blue sparkliness that is running throughout it. I didn't even put NYX glitter glue or anything, but let's proceed. I'm going to move into this shade, which is Hellenius, this one, and I'm going to place that in the inner third of the eyelid. Now that looks green, and on my eyelid it looks pinky purple with a green base. That's stunning. Okay, I'm gonna melt all of these things together. That is so beautiful. You have no idea. I love that. Okay, I'm gonna take a smaller brush with this shade, which is a Lotus. Just a little bit. I'm gonna take that in the inner corners. Uh-oh, it's going in my tear duct. Okay, inner corners. I'm just gonna place it right there. And then I'm gonna take that Moonshine shade, because that's just the perfect inner corner shade, and just tap it right on top. Right there. So that we have that pinkiness a little bit, but we also do not lose out on the wham bang shebang on the eyelid. And that's, I think, no, let's finish it off with like black, because I want to test out the black. Let's take this shade, which is Nocturnal, the black shade. I'm gonna just deepen out the outer corners just a tad bit, just to see if that green can be more deep or not, or does the black take over. Yeah, it can definitely be deep. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to look. That if it is like so opaque that it doesn't let the other shade shine through, or does it let the other shade shine through and it makes it more deep, and that's what it's exactly doing. Now let me finish off this eye with some liner and mascara, and I'll get right back. And that's my second eye look. I really love this too. I love both the effect that is happening on my eye. I really love it. I love the effect of the shimmers. Like, these shimmers are so dimensional, so sparkly and so shifty that it definitely takes over the matte that is laid underneath it, and I feel like that makes it so much more versatile than what it is right now, which already it is super versatile. And I feel like we can also get so many natural looks for an everyday look. I feel like it definitely can go more natural with those pinks and with those like bronzy shades and with those satiny shades. I really feel like it can go either way. I only did not use like 3 shades from the palette. I used everything in this palette, and I feel like none of the shades gave me any trouble, and which is a sign of a great palette. I already love NBA Cosmetics, the way the quality of the shadows that they put out, and you can see it for yourself how beautiful and vibrant it is, and I expected nothing less from NBA Cosmetics. I really give it a 2 thumbs up from my side. I really love the way how this performed on my eyes. Oh no! One of the shade fell. Wait, it's a disaster. I have to definitely press it back and glue it down. I think I lost the shade Lotus. Oh my god, that's such a bummer. So I definitely, it broke into pieces. I'll definitely glue it back together, but again, be careful. Do not be messy as me, because yeah, that hurts. But that's all, guys. I really hope that you guys enjoyed both the eye looks that I created for you guys, and I still feel like this palette is really nice and gives a variety of looks. minus the mishap that happened right now. But that's all for today, guys. If you did like this video, you know what to do. Do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so that you're notified every time that I post things. I generally upload 3 videos every single week, every Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays at 9 AM Eastern Standard Time. Until next time, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.